Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Frances Baden, and I'm so grateful to get to spend this time with you today and to reintroduce you to one of my really good friends and somebody who can really help you to magnify your miracles. We're going to be talking with Julie Reisler in just a moment. But before we do that, let's just take a few deep breaths together, get ourselves grounded and centered. If you're driving, please keep your eyes open, but you can always bring your awareness to your breath. And just breathing in the energy of expansion, breathing out anything that you no longer need. And as you are starting to tune into this present moment, allowing yourself to feel that divine presence supporting you, loving you. Allowing yourself to be a little bit curious this morning of what is it that I could really use to hear today that would just help me to move forward in a powerful way. Whatever that is, knowing that that's exactly what you're going to be experiencing today, let's take one more deep breath in gratitude and we can begin. All right, my friend. Well, welcome once again to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. I'm so delighted to be able to have, once again, we had Julie Reisler on the podcast way in the beginning when I very first launched the podcast. She's been doing amazing things since then, which is why I wanted to have her back. So in case you missed that episode, I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to read a little bit about Julie and help you get to know her. And then we are going to have an amazing conversation because whenever the two of us to get together, we talk about all kinds of things. So let me tell you about my friend Julie. Julie is the founder and CEO of Empowered Living. She's a master transformation coach, a best-selling author, a TEDx speaker, and the host of the You-est You podcast. She's been featured in Forbes magazine, Mind, Body, Green, the Chopra Center, and Thrive Global, and is the author of Get a PhD in You, the book series. She's actually a multi-time TEDx speaker, and she's a teacher on the popular app Insight Timer with over 145,000 downloads. And if you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you go over to Insight Timer and check them out. Julie is also the founder of the Life Designer Coaching Certification Academy, which we're going to be talking about today, and also the Sacredology community. She has a master's degree in health and wellness coaching and is on the faculty at Georgetown University in their coaching program. And she loves guiding big-hearted spiritual entrepreneurs just like you to be their You-est You in their careers and their life. And of course, you can go to juliereisler.com to find out more about her, and we'll be sharing more at the end of other ways that you can connect with Julie. So welcome, my friend, Julie Reisler.
Yay. I'm so excited. I've got like jazz hands, prayer hands. Cannot wait to have this conversation. Such an honor to be back here with you.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. So much has happened. So last time when we were talking, I had done the review of your book, Get a PhD in You, which I love and always recommend that to people. It's such a beautiful foundation piece. That's how I see it. It's like such a beautiful foundation piece for anybody, but especially for anybody that wants to be doing any work with you, because it really directs people to get in touch with themselves, to kind of break through all the rules and all the stories and really connect with the You-est You, which I think is kind of a life's journey. And so since that time, we've had the pandemic, we've had so many things going on, and you've really grown and shifted. So I'm curious if you could tell us a little bit about what's been going on since we talked to you. I think it was like a year and a half ago, right before when the pandemic was happening. Where are you now and kind of what's going on with this? I know you have a coaching academy and everything. So just give people a little bit of a background if they missed that first episode about your story.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is, well, I'm just so excited to be back. And, I think the place I want to start is really, for me, right around the beginning of the pandemic. So it was in March 2020. We had just turned the corner of the 2020 new decade. And, I had felt like I had started to step into really owning my intuition, helping others to unlock that. I could go on and on about just years and years where I didn't listen to it, where I blocked it, where it felt at times, I would just say I didn't value it. I think coming from a highly intellectualized world and life, growing up in the Boston area, for those who know, there's like 500 universities, and I seem to go to, high school with like all of the people that went to some of the high level universities over there, and just a lot of focus on intellectualism, which is great. We want to use, of course, our mind. I always was very in tune with emotions, empath, highly sensitive. And so for me, I'd already started to really step more into this place of connecting with my intuition and really wanting to help others to do that, because I do believe we have incredible divine guidance, all of us. It's a beautiful treasure. And so at that moment literally in March, I woke up, Frances, and I heard an inner true voice that just said, Julie, your mission just started. And I thought, okay, I don't know what the mission is, but I'm here. I'm ready. And the overarching piece of it is really learning to live in my heart and help others to do that, especially as I had no idea, none of us, I don't think, knew what we were about to head into with what opened up in the pandemic and the fear and the health crisis and a lot of crisis, actually. And for me, it felt like that like beginning point of really, okay, you're here. Like many of us, like anyone listening, if you're listening, I know you're here to make an impact. I know that because you're attracted to this beautiful world and work. So I heard your mission just started, and I started to ask, okay, what does that mean? What does that even mean? And that's where it started.
I love that. So for everyone who's listening, I want you to write that down. It's like when you get that guidance, a lot of times when we get that guidance, the first thing we do is explain it away and go, oh, I was just making it up or whatever. But if you do what Julie did and you ask that next question, instead of pushing it away or immediately going into, how am I going to do that? If you can ask that question of like, what does that mean? Let yourself be with it. Yeah. It creates a space. When you say, Julie, like it creates a space where that voice can actually start to get stronger and you can start to get a little bit more guidance.
Yeah. And I think, for me, I hear it, sometimes I see it. I know we're all different. So it might be a sensation, a feeling, an image. There's no right way, as we know. Exactly what you said. It's leaving that space for the grace of what is to come. And that was very powerful, because I had thought about some of the things that came through. I'd always, I've been coaching for a long time. I thought about, it'd be so neat to have a coaching program and we can talk about it. But I did not know. And I really I just said, okay, divine spirit, like use me. I want to be of service, and kind of just open myself to really tune in and allow whatever wanted to come through me to be there for that, to be available.
I love that. And I would love for you to share, because, coaching is really popular right now. And there's a lot of people who think they know coaching, or maybe they don't know coaching, or maybe they think of it in a really traditional sense, like a football coach or something like that. And I know, because I know you, that coaching has been really powerful in your life. It's been really transformational. And I'm wondering, for people that may not know about the power of coaching, I'm an advocate. I think I'm going to have a coach for the rest of my life. And I might not be the same person, but having that person there, especially, and this is to all of us highly sensitive people, a lot of us grew up with dysfunctional families, and we didn't get that feedback that we needed when we were younger. I think we all need this in our lives. Yeah. Can you share with us, because I know that you have a lot of different coaching certifications and you've definitely been trained in this. You've been in this for a while. Yeah. What was it about coaching for you that really made you go, oh, this is the thing I want to be, and this is also the thing that I want to help other people step into?
Woo, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna try to do this in a succinct way, but I think it's important to go a little bit back, because just to honor kind of where this came from.
Please.
And for those, if I haven't met you yet, hi, I'm sending love. And if you've heard this story, I love you. And thank you for listening. You can also just go along with the story. But, for me, I think it's important to say my way of coping with being highly sensitive and empath and loving parents, yet dysfunction. And my own self-bullying and attack was through food. I struggled with food addiction for a lot of time. And I got into support groups around that. I did a lot of therapy, which is great. It didn't seem to really help me in the way that coaching did. I'll explain in a moment. Through the work that I did, through the support groups and 12 steps and therapy, I really started to excavate myself. And I realized, oh my God, I am like living in the people pleasers. Like I could put on any hat you wanted anytime. I really literally was not sure. I was whoever you wanted me to be. And what happens is I lost a real sense of myself. And it took time to let that, to excavate and to let those aspects go and to realize, it's worth investing in getting to know yourself and love yourself. And long story short, in part of that process, I realized I had, married a really good person. I had 2 young children, and it occurred to me really, I had a sense intuitively, but I realized it wasn't the right fit anymore. And that is challenging. If anyone's gone through a conscious uncoupling, it's i.e. divorce or breakup, it's really, really gut-wrenching. And I had gone to therapy. I tried a lot of different things, and I ended up working with a coach who asked, one powerful question that literally changed my life. And it was a miracle. I had a new perspective. And I thought, my gosh, I've spent thousands of dollars. And therapy is great. Don't get me wrong. It's different. It focuses on the past a lot and trauma. And that's important. Coaching tends to focus a little bit on the past, but really the present and the future. And I just had a miracle. I had a shift. I was in despair. I didn't know what to do. I had 2 really young kids. And he asked me, Julie, if you knew your life would be amazing, incredible, extraordinary, either way, what would you choose? And in that instant, my intuition, there was no choice. It was like, I don't want to be here. And I just thought, okay, if a question can change my life, my brain was like, had a hard time, like, what just happened? My body was so relieved. And it was a very challenging time, yet I was like, what is this? And I went right into it. And I said, he was part of a coaching program. I went right in and started coaching with him for four different groups, a very intensive program. And then I said, I've got to study this. I've got to, like me having the intellectual, I'm certifiably certified, a lot of certifications. I went back, and then I ended up getting my master's degree in this work. And I realized this is life-changing. This is empowering. It got me to have the answer within me and to be able to take action from an empowering place. It changed my whole life. I'm here today. All of my life today is through and because of that question, and feeling like life would be okay and beautiful, even though I was making a choice that was very challenging. And it became a visceral, like, I can't not do this work. I left my full-time job. I had 2 kids. I was a single mom. So that's the gist of it. It's just, and I can talk however, much you want about what it means. This was about 12 years ago. And I started my coaching program about little less than 10 years ago. And it wasn't yet as popular, and people thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
They're like, you're doing what? You're leaving a full-time, really good, pretty good job with good benefits. And I had support, but I think they were like, we support you. And what are you doing? And you're coaching what? I said, no, this is life-changing. This is light worker work. This is sacred work. Yeah. My life can change. So, all right, I'll stop there.
No, I love it. And I love the enthusiasm because, you really embody this thing that you are on the planet to do, It shows up in the form, of coaching, but there's so much more that goes into it. That is such a powerful healing path. Now, I'll be honest with everybody, is I've worked with a lot of coaches in my life, and it's not always the same experience, the way that Julie presents it. A lot of people that do coaching, they go to a coaching academy, they learn a bunch of stuff, and then they just kind of take you through a template and a form, and that's it. But in my experience, this life designer coaching that you have created, this academy that you've created, is not just a matter of like, here's a form, go do this, fill it out. what I have always admired about you is that you really are always helping people to be their You-est You. So of course it's built into your coaching academy that that's going to be happening. And whenever my clients say to me, I've been thinking about being a coach, but I don't really know. I really, I want to be able to use my intuition. I'm like, oh, I know who you should talk to because you really honor the whole person at the same time that they're learning how to become a coach. So tell us a little bit about life designer coaching as opposed to just like generic coaching programs that are out there.
Yeah. And thank you. No, this became my heart's calling. And what I realized early on when I started my own business about 7+ years ago, I realized what that coach did is help me to literally be the architect to design my life from my heart, from my purpose, from my intuition. And so right away I was like, I just feel like this term, it encompasses that it's an empowering term. You get to design your life. And here's the gift. All of us, we're all of the divine. So we all have this, we're not always taught that, but we have this ability when shown how and when supported, especially for those of us who are empaths and sensitive, to have someone that can really help tune in. What is your heart saying? And for me, it's all about living from the heart. And that's what happened in March 2020. I heard, Julie, your mission started. You've got to, it's time. I had thought about this for a long time, Frances. I went to school. I learned the framework, the competencies of coaching. Luckily, I went to a school with integrative health. I learned mind body science principles, meditation, saved my life actually with my autoimmune condition. Literally this work, and I always have a coach, as we know, always as well. I believe in it. I try to live by it. And so what I saw was what is often missing. And I teach at Georgetown. It's a wonderful school, but what is hard to bring in is not just the intuition, but your heart intelligence. I bring in a lot with heart math, your energy system, your body wisdom, tuning into your chakras, I teach a lot of tools and techniques, how to listen. How do you know what your body is saying? Our body has cellular memory and information. So that is baked in along with the competencies. And I feel like the theme is living from your heart, but also living from your truth. We each get to be sovereign, independent, empowered beings. I think that's our gift. That's our birthright. And so it's a model where you're learning how to help others tune into their higher self. And the beautiful thing is you learn to do that for yourself. That's the beauty is there's this, I guess, all encompassing transformative impact and effect. And the bottom line is we're not experts in anybody else. We're experts that, I train people and myself included as a coach, I'm an expert in listening. You become an expert in asking really powerful questions like the one that changed my life, in tuning into your heart, coherence, your client's heart, their deepest desires, and to help them see that it's possible and how to make that a reality. And that I want to say it's magical. It's not magical, but it has that feeling. It's miraculous. It's miraculous work. It really is.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, for people who are listening now, I'm wondering if you have a question that you would offer to them. Because, we're recording this at a time where there's a lot of challenge going on with people's lives.
Yes.
A lot. I mean, it's been ongoing, but this month in particular seems like there's a lot that's going on for people. And I'm wondering if anybody is, struggling, if anybody is wrestling with something, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what question you might offer. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but
I love it. I'm like, I have 5 questions already. I'll try to narrow it. I love this question. And I just want to say to anyone in that space, we see you, we honor you, and you have what you need within you. You do. So one of the first places, number one, I'm a big believer. I've done a lot with heart math and connecting to the heart, is literally physically putting your hands on your heart. So taking a breath or two, really connecting to your heart energy.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to ask is, asking your heart, asking your higher self, what is for my highest good right now? That could be a question. Another question, how might this experience be happening for my highest good? How might this, the pandemic, the fear, whatever it is, the doubt, how might this be for my highest good? This is, I like to ask myself every morning, what would you have me know here? And I ask, for an image, a symbol, a word, a sensation. So really you're tuning into your own inner wisdom. Mm-hmm. And you might also go to, what way would I love to be expressed in the world? What would I love? How would I love to be in the world? What would I love to do? So you're asking, what would bring me joy? What would light me up today? What would feel free?
Yeah.
And calm and loving. What's the most loving thing I can do today? I mean, those are some great questions. I try to ask myself those. I'll stop because I could go.
No. I love it. I wrote down these questions. These questions will be in the show notes for everybody, just so you have them. But I'm gonna share with you that a lot of times when I'm working with my own clients in my own coaching and mentoring program, sometimes when I ask people these questions, like what would bring you joy, they're so disconnected from it. They're like, yeah, I don't know. And I said, well, what is it that you would love? I don't know. And I think the reason is because they're going to how, either that, or they just have never given themselves permission to ask the question. So the very first question I really like is like, what is for my highest good right now? How might this be for my highest good? So if you are going through a divorce or a health challenge or, whatever it might be. I love that question. It's like, how is this happening for me? You know, I love that. Beautiful.
Well, and I'll just give a little praise to getting the blessing of working with you as an incredible miracle mentor coach.
Thank you.
Which has been one of the biggest gifts in my life. I believe in this work. And I will say that Reverend Francis has just been, you've been a gift and a blessing. And, we tune into that. And that came up recently. What would my heart love here? And that could be a question. And then this is for all my friends that go to the head first. I know you, I am you because I do this. This is what I've been working on. You start to let it, and I teach this, let it come down. And I literally physically feel the question move down like honey moving down to my heart until I feel it. And until I feel it, because I hear my head, well, that's a great logical idea, or that this coaching Life Designer Academy did not come from my head. I can tell you right now. And I believe when we tune in to our heart wisdom, to living from there, and even if it's disconnected, it's okay. A lot of us have been disconnected. We've grown up and live in a society that frankly, maybe is changing, but does not. I don't know about you. I went to great schools and they did not focus on what does your heart feel? I wish they did. I would have been using glitter a lot more. I had that thought this morning. I'm like, I need more glitter in my life. But this is something I know you ask and it's helped me to I use this in my own life. This is, and I would encourage, this is an art of living, an art from living from the heart.
Yeah, I love that. And I think for most of us, we're just not conditioned to do that, and a big piece of this, I'm being asked to ask this now and talk about it, is trusting it, because a lot of times people, the reason that they don't feel like they can follow their heart is they don't trust it. They're like, it's too scary, or they were shut down when they were a kid, when they talked about what they would love or whatever it might be. And so being able to learn how to trust that, I think, is a really important piece too.
And I would say, oh gosh, that is it. That right there, learning to trust it. The reason I was able to step in and do this is I'd had enough experience where I started to really watch what happened when I lived. Look, I did life from my head and not listening to my heart for a long time. And I'll say, and there's some good moments, but it was a bit of a train wreck, honestly. Yeah. And as a coach, you learn how to hold the space for the other person to trust their heart, to trust their intuition.
Yeah.
That is sacred to me. And you learn to do it for yourself. It's been a game changer. I know you get it completely. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Like different way to live.
Yeah, totally. So, I know that you have your life designer certification. The program is going to be happening again in September of this year, right? September. We're recording this September 2021. So it's happening in September. Is that right?
Yes. So we're doing them quarterly. They're 4 months. They're virtual and live. And yeah, we're starting again 9/22, which I feel like is actually an important date. And I should
That's
have
the equinox. It's the equinox.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I try to do dates and we're going to end right before the holidays in mid-December. So you'll be if someone feels called and they want to do this, of course, love to have them. You'll be done by mid to end December, but we start on the equinox.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I love this. So it's actually not a huge time commitment that people could actually start their 2022 with a new career. That's pretty powerful.
100%. And there's a whole, one of the things about this, it's interesting. I'll be really honest. I had a student reach out to me who because I still teach here and there at Georgetown as well. And it's lovely. It's I can't make it my own the way I do this. And she reached out, she's like, I'd really love support coaching because in the Life Designer program, you have a practicum. You are doing 20 hours of pro bono coaching and you get into pods, but you also get coached. So you have 8 to 12, at least most people come away with 15 to 20 hours. So what's lovely is you have your own transformation while you're helping others and learning how to do this kind of work. So yeah, you can, by the end of the year, before you go into 2022, and a lot of what I do is help people to learn what are the basics you need to get started. You don't need a lot, but you do need to know, a few things about it. But that's been a gift, I think, is being able to do it in a shorter period of time and still have it be in full integrity and really deep and meaningful work.
So people that join the program, they receive coaching at the same time that they're also learning how to do it with other people. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Really, really powerful. And there's also a beautiful community that you have of graduates, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I feel like there's something about everyone who's come through and been attracted to this are like just delicious light worker souls. I don't know how else to say it. We've actually expanded. We now have with this next cohort, some that have already signed up. It's now international. I have a student from Dubai. I have a student possibly from Australia. We've had potentially from Canada. So it's definitely, you can use this anywhere, but it's a beautiful community. It's very loving. It's very supportive. Just anything you need. I feel like if you need an idea or run a program thought or support or somebody even to do pro bono coaching with, there's a lot of kind of cross connection. I call it, because you get into pods in the cohorts, I call it cross pollinating. There's a lot of cross pollinating where like pods will help each other. You get into a pod so that you have your group that you can start coaching, make it easy.
Beautiful. So if people wanted to find out more about it, where would they go? What would they do?
The easiest thing to do, all right. So it's my name, juliereisler.com/certification. And it's right on my website. And all the information's there. And you can also, of course, check it out. I do an application process. I will say, want to make sure this is a good fit on both ends. And so there is a short application process, but I review all of them. I take those really seriously. And yeah, it's what can I say? I feel like it's my heart's work. It is definitely part of it. And we have almost 40 graduates right now.
Beautiful.
Since we started. It's such a gift. I thank the divine every day because it does feel like, spirit's work here for real.
Awesome. So I'll put that in the show notes, juliereisler.com/certification. And one thing I'm also going to share with people too is, if you're not in a place in your life where you're looking to become a coach, but you'd like to be able to take advantage of some of Julie's wisdom, obviously you can connect with her podcast, but she also has these really beautiful cards and your declaration cards. I just want to talk about them because what I love about them is they have a question in them.
Yes.
So if you're not really good, yeah, hold them up. If you're not really good at coming up with those questions, Julie's got this beautiful deck of USU Declaration Cards, and she's going to pull one for us right now.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, can I just pull one? Okay,
pull
this
one.
feels like the one. I don't know
show
why.
Show us the deck.
Okay,
see it.
Here's the
yeah, there we
deck.
Go. Beautiful.
USU.
Beautiful.
I made them for myself originally. I'm going to be honest. I was like, I need some cards. All right, glasses got to go on so I can read what I wrote. Oh, hold on. I'm going to do two. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, great. So the first one I pulled is grounded, which I feel is so crucial for right now. So I'm going to read it to you, the declaration, and then the questions. My feet are firmly planted on the floor, and I am grounded, connected, supported, and nourished by Mother Earth or Divine Mother. I have everything I need right now within me. I breathe in well-being and feel a sense of grounding and exhale anything that doesn't serve me. What's interesting is the first things that I teach is this, how to ground yourself and how to do this with your clients. I'm like, yep. So the questions, how can I be more grounded in my life? Which activities and people important ground me? What are ways I can ground myself today?
Beautiful. I love it.
And this, if it's okay, I was like, I have to do one more. This just was like lighting up. So what I love about this, I'll show it in case anyone can see it, is laughter.
Laughter. Yay.
Which is such a great space to go to if you're like, I don't know what brings me joy. Well, what makes you laugh? What brings laughter? So this is very short. Laughter is healing for my body and soul. I will find time to invite laughter into my day to lighten up myself and those around me. Louise Hay talks about how she cured herself of ovarian cancer using laughter and watching a lot of old videos and things that had a lot of laughter and joy. Yeah. Questions. When was the last time I had a belly laugh? How did it feel to laugh and lose myself in the moment? How can I look for more ways to add laughter into my life? So we could go on and on. I love questions.
Yeah, I love it. So, I mean, that's one thing I love about that deck is it's one of the few decks that's out there that actually engages you, and asks you those questions. So, I'll put that on there too. That's your declaration cards. Yay.
Yay. Grounded in laughter. There we go.
So good. And so like becoming present in the body, getting ourselves grounded, and then just opening that heart and bringing in that joy. Beautiful. Exactly. Oh, it's so great to talk to you as always, my friend. You're doing amazing work in this world. I'm so grateful for the light that you are, because I know everybody that comes into your sphere in whatever way they come, they're going to magnify their miracles because you are one of those people that helps to do that. So thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you for holding this miraculous, universal, gorgeous space. I have just benefited from working with you. You are so brilliant and gifted. And it is an honor to be part of here. I'm part of this beautiful community. And I'm just, together we can. I really believe this. It's not about doing this work alone. It's about connecting with others. It's about tuning into your heart and your intuition, shining your light, and not doing this alone. There is a soul family. Obviously, you're in it, and anyone listening is. And just grateful to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just let everybody know, I have worked with Julie. She is an amazing coach, and she 100% walks her talk. She 100% embodies everything that she says. So I can, with no question, I recommend that you definitely check her out and see. She's got a lot of different offerings, so check it out and see. But if you are called to be a light worker and you're looking to have that framework, I think that the Life Designer Coaching might be something that would work for you. So definitely check it out. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And for everyone who's listening, thank you so much for being here today. If you did enjoy this episode, I encourage you to let your friends know. You can subscribe, and if you could leave a review, that would really, really help me out a lot. I would so appreciate it. And as always, please remember that the key to magnifying your miracles is to know that your miracle is already here. Bye, my friends.